Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 11 of Dumb CreepCast.
God, episode 11.
Episode 11.
Double digits now.
Wow.
We've got a very interesting story today. We're heading back over to the more horror side. I think we're going to keep in mind, though, doing the comedy stuff, and later on we'd like to have a little segment there just about that. We had a lot of fun doing Trapped on At Island last time.
That was my favorite episode.
We've got a bit more of a serious one today. This is probably going to be the shortest episode so far.
We'll see.
But I looked through r/nosleep for hours and hours, and this was the one that stood out to me. So, quality instead of quantity. So couldn't think of the word there, but So this story is called The Malevolent Passenger.
Wow.
And it's by... Sorry.
The Malevolent or Malevolent?
Malevolent.
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 Malevolent?
Yes.
Yes.
And it's by Gloomy_Succotash 8686.
Gloomy Succotash?
Yeah. Succotash.
Gloomy?
I imagine it's like succubus, but succotash.
Gloomy Succotash 8686. Hell yeah, bro. Fair enough.
Good story.
All right.
Well, we'll see how it's at the end, but
Once again, we're back to the usual. Azzy has read it. I have not.
Yay.
And I guess we'll just jump into it.
Yeah.
Do you know who's speaking first? What's happening?
So
Who's
lot
who?
of it, I believe, main character is speaking first and foremost, and it's sort of, I think it's written in first person. So if you want to start, that would be great.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the main character is male. So
Fair enough. There are certain rumors that cling to a place like the stench of stagnant water, unshakable, festering, retold until their edges blur. Our town has such a rumor, and it centers not on a house or graveyard, but upon a lonely stretch of country road, where the pine trees press inward like conspirators and the fog seems bred from the earth itself. They say the road belongs to her, him, it, the hitchhiker. It takes many guises, yet its essence never alters. An intruder, garbed in borrowed skin. I began collecting these accounts not from idle curiosity, but from a gnawing hunger that no rational man should indulge. I sought out those who had seen the hitchhiker, spoken to them, ferried them through that black-bowed corridor of asphalt. Their words came haltingly, thick with reluctance, as though each syllable carved something irretrievable from their memory. The first was a long-haul driver, one of those roughened men who seldom yield to superstition. He told me he picked up a girl in her 20s, backpack slung, smiling like she walked out of a roadside diner. They shared a cigarette. They joked about weather and wages. Then, mid-laughter, she leaned close and whispered in a voice not hers, but something ancient and androgynous.
You fat piece of shit. There's a reason your family left you. Now you will die choking, coughing black foam until what family you have left won't be able to look at you.
He told me. He looked at her in anger and shock, but she was just smiling, as though she'd said nothing. He left her on the shoulder and drove until the sky bled dawn. He told me this while chain-smoking, his hands trembling so hard the ash scattered like snow. He died of emphysema less than a year after we had spoke. Then came the farmer's wife, a devout woman. Said she'd been driving home from Bible study when she saw a young boy on the roadside, clutching a teddy bear, so she stopped and opened the door to him. He climbed in, the scent of mildew and iron hit her, but she thought nothing of it other than she wanted to help the little boy, so she offered him some water and asked where his parents were, but he only stared. Then, with a sudden grin too broad for a child's face, he said, "God doesn't see you. He never did. When you kneel, you'd better be suited to kneeling for cock rather than an empty throne." This is fucking amazing.
Isn't it?
Oh my god.
I really, really like this one.
I'm getting SAR officer vibes.
Sort of, yeah.
Only like better, more eloquently written. I don't want to say better.
Feels very compact. So
Yeah.
it feels like they know exactly what they're going for here.
Yeah.
The scope isn't too big of this. It's exactly what it needs to be, kind of idea. So obviously we're talking about a skin changer here, something that's been done to death. But I think this really makes it seem fresh as well, which is very interesting.
I didn't even think of that. I just thought like something potentially demonic.
Oh yeah,
you know, something ghostly almost. But, no, I really love this so far.
I love the writing style.
The woman swore his face collapsed in on itself as she watched in awe, like clay melting in flame, before he simply stepped out of the car while it was moving. She wrecked her Buick in the ditch. Since then, she hasn't spoken the Lord's name without trembling, but then they found her dead inside the local church with the word slut written in blood across her forehead. As if my curiosity wasn't already piqued as it was, the sheriff himself, our so-called pillar of law, came to speak to me about how he'd once stopped on that same road as the others to offer aid to a middle-aged man in a suit, stranded and waving. The man slid into the back seat, polite, well-spoken, until suddenly he spat vile epithets about the sheriff's dead mother. Detailed things no stranger could know. The color of her coffin lining, the hymn she hated sung over her grave, and then without missing a beat, started going into detail about the sheriff's wife killing herself and his daughter being a dirty little whore. The sheriff broke down into tears, then reacting on pure anger. He pulled over and hopped out of his patrol car with his gun drawn, but he found the back seat empty. He retired 2 months after we had spoke, and then they found him dead in a motel room with a shotgun in his hands and his brains splattered all over the walls. So many stories, each wrapped in the same terror. The shifting of faces, the friendliness curdling into filth, the vulgarities that felt more like prophecies than insults, all ending in inevitable deaths. Yet, for all the warnings, for all the trembling mouths that spoke them, my curiosity only grew. Some compulsion stronger than reason or faith gnawed at me. I needed to see her, him, it. To know the hitchhiker would choose a face for me. To know they would whisper in my ear before vanishing back into the fog. Are you leaving, sir?
It's like, I'm not comfortable. You guys are taking up too much room. Oh,
I'm
wait,
so
no, I want to
sorry.
come back.
I am so sorry, buddy.
I want to come back. I want to see what you guys are doing.
We need a bigger fucking
Alright, but
couch.
there's not enough room here. I'm just going to squeeze right in.
Oh,
Aw.
little cinnamon roll. All right. No two witnesses agreed upon their features, save that all had felt a nauseous terror when in its company, as though some formless thing pressed against the membranes of their minds. I had listened to these stories with the arrogant disbelief of one who thought himself immune to superstition, and yet something in their fragmented accounts stirred me. Not merely curiosity, but an urge, an almost perverse compulsion, to see for myself. Perhaps it was the same instinct that drives men to the edge of cliffs, the whisper urging them to step forward into nothingness. So, one night, under a moon bruised with clouds, I set out. The roads were narrow and unlit, hemmed by skeletal pines that rattled in the wind. My headlights carved 2 pale corridors through the dark, yet could not penetrate the blackness beyond the roadside. The silence inside my car was oppressive. Even the hum of the engine seemed swallowed by the light. Then I saw her.
A figure, slender and still, standing at the gravel shoulder. The first thing that struck me was not her form, but her composure. Motionless, unbothered by the whipping wind, as if she'd been waiting precisely for me. When my beams touched her, she raised her arm slowly, thumb out. My heart stuttered in my chest, for in that pale glow I could not tell her age or face. It seemed to shift as I watched. First youthful, then matronly, then something inhuman in its formlessness. But when I blinked, she appeared merely as a woman perhaps of 30 years, with hair dark as pitch and eyes luminous, too luminous in the cold light. I stopped, and then the door opened with a groan. She slid into the passenger seat with the grace that made no sound. Her scent was faint, metallic, like rusted iron. "Kind of you," she said, her voice warm at first, musical even. "Not many stop anymore." I nodded mutely and pulled back onto the road. For a time, our conversation was unremarkable. She asked my name, and I told her. She asked where I was bound, and I answered vaguely. Anywhere, nowhere. I only wished to drive. Her laughter then was pleasant, almost girlish, but then, without warning, her tone curdled. "Your hands," she remarked softly. They look like the hands of a coward. Have you ever strangled a man? Or does your strength only reach as far as a woman's throat? I glanced at her, startled. Her face appeared altered, the cheekbones sharper, the eyes sunken, her cruel smile. But when I blinked, she was again the benign stranger gazing out at the forest with calm serenity. Forgive me, she said sweetly. I say such things without thinking, a bad habit. The road stretched on. My knuckles whitened on the wheel. She slipped again moments later. Your mother never wanted you, did she? I can smell it on you. She prayed you'd be stillborn, but you clung like a worm in her belly. I opened my mouth to speak, to protest even, but the words shriveled in my throat. Her face in the dim light was now ancient, as though the decades had melted her skin, her lips peeled back from teeth that seemed longer than before. Then she laughed softly, as if the cruel words had never been uttered. Oh, don't be so cross, I tease. The air grew heavy. A stench of damp earth and rot filled the car, though no window was open. My ears rang faintly, like a great pressure weighed against my skull. I felt the sensation of eyes upon me. Not hers alone, but countless unseen gazes pressing from outside. Beyond the glass, beyond the trees, as if the forest itself had leaned close to witness. I drove faster, my breath came short. She hummed a tune beside me, low, droning, discordant. You'll leave me soon, she said after a while, her tone wistful. But you'll see me again. You all do. I wear many faces, many skins. Sometimes I am a daughter, sometimes a bride. Sometimes I'm your own reflection, waiting in the bend of the road. Her head turns toward me then, slowly, impossibly far, until her chin nearly brushed her shoulder. Her eyes glowed faintly, like lanterns stuck deep in water. Do you know, she whispered, voice thick with a guttural resonance, what rides with you now? The headlights flickered. For an instant, I swear the road dissolved into a vast black plain. Stars wheeling above, and towering over all was a figure without form. Wings, tendrils, limbs too many to count. It was a shadow falling across eternity. And then in an instant, the road was back. The pines, the gravel shoulder too. My car shuddered as though waking from a dream.
She was gone, the seat beside me empty. Though it was still warm, the faint metallic stench lingered. I did not stop driving until dawn broke. I should have turned back. I should have left well enough alone, but I tell you now, in the style of those ancient chronicles of madness, that I know I will see her again. For every reflective surface I have glimpsed since, in mirrors, in windows, in pools of rainwater, I have seen faces that are not my own. Some nights, when the wind is still, I hear her humming. After some weeks since that first encounter, the days since had not been days at all, but a disjointed succession of visions, interruptions, and choked wakenings from half-sleep. The presence of that woman, if such it is, had still yet to be fully departed. Every road I drive, I search for her. Not willingly at first. God knows I swore never to tempt fate twice, but rather as one whose wound festers despite his best efforts to bandage it. She does not merely haunt a single stretch of the highway, but rather she haunts me. It was a moonless night when I saw her again. My car, restless as my own mind, had carried me far beyond the town into the black reaches of County Road, where no lamp stands and where the forest presses close to the thin strip of asphalt. I had no intention of finding her, and yet I saw her. At first I thought it was a trick of memory, merely a woman walking home, thumb raised, the pale of her hand flashing in my headlights. But as the beam struck her form, I realized it was indeed her, yet her face was not the same as before, nor was it different. It was a blasphemous compromise between the two, as though every feature were a composite of uncountable masks, and yet no mask stayed long enough to be trusted. I slowed, though my heart implored me to keep going. My hands did not obey as they turned the wheel, and then I opened the passenger door. She entered without ceremony. This time, her smile was wider, a thin wound of a mouth that curved too far. This is incredible. I love the pacing.
So you can absolutely see when you watch this back to edit it, you'll see my wide smile as you did each of this. So usually I'll point out like lines specifically that are like, oh, I love that line. I feel like every other sentence is like, oh, I love that line.
Yeah.
That line hits perfectly.
It's written so poetically.
It is, but it's almost, like, it makes perfect sense, if you know what I mean, because I feel like there can be a lot of writing personally where I've seen them go overboard with this kind of thing, and it's to the point where you're kind of missing the point. It's too complex.
Right. No, this strikes a really good balance.
Oh my god, it's so descriptive. The imagery here, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So many lines. And oh, by the way, I want to say this does not have a lot of reads on r/nosleep. When I read this, it was written yesterday.
Okay.
So let's hope. Please read this.
How many updates is it at?
I think it was only at 10 when I looked
Jesus.
at it. So
man.
really new. Amazing work.
Go give this some love.
This is fantastic.
This is excellent. I'd love to see if they've written anything else too.
Me too. I knew you'd come back, she said, her voice at once a purr and a hiss. At once the laughter of a girl and the groan of some oceanic beast in the deep. My throat closed around words, but I forced them out.
I don't remember choosing to.
Oh, you chose. You always choose. That's the curse of your kind. Thinking choices are made in moments when they really were made ages ago. I looked ahead, unwilling to meet her shifting face.
Where do you need to go?
Just drive, she said quickly, then laughed like glass shattering.
Oh, that's so good.
Amazing. I continued to drive as the silence stretched, broken only by her voice slithering in and out of moods. At times she was sweet, humming a tune that reminded me of childhood lullabies, only to stop mid-note and spit. Your mother hated you, you know. She told me. She told us. At other moments, she was vulgar, her every word dripping with obscenity, describing my own body in degrading detail, as though she could see through flesh and bone to all the ugly parts that even I dared not name. You're rotten, she whispers suddenly. Right there, beneath the skin of your chest. You feel it, don't you? A soft place. A wrong place. I did. God help me, I did. My hand rose to my sternum and pressed, and for a moment I swore the bone there gave. She laughed again. The forest outside grew thicker, the road narrower. I realised with a coldness deeper than fear that I no longer recognised where I was. The mile markers had ceased and the road sign vanished. She leaned closer, her face flickering between girl, crone and corpse. Do you know what I am? She breathed. I tried to answer, but my tongue cleaved to the roof of my mouth. I am everybody's last bride, she said, grinning with teeth that multiplied the longer I looked. Every lost man's last companion, the hand they take when the road stops, the mouth that whispers before the long silence. Do you want to know where I'm really going?
I shook my head, but she told me anyway.
I am going home, and you're coming with me.
Her hand shot out faster than thought and pressed flat against my chest. Fire and ice coursed through me at once, my vision blurred. I could see the forest bending away from us, trees contorting in terror, as though they too feared her. She leaned into my ear, voice jagged and rasp.
Drive faster, faster, take me all the way in.
My foot, traitor to my soul, pressed in the accelerator. The car roared forward, the world outside devolving into streaks of shadow and pale mist. The last thing I recall clearly is her laughter, piercing, triumphant, unending. The road was gone, the car was gone, and I was no longer sure where my body ended and hers began. Now, as I scrawl this with what strength remains. Oh, bye-bye. Again.
He's too afraid. He was shaking in his boots.
He had a nightmare. Now, as I scrawl this with what strength remains, I know she never truly left. She abides in the pulse of my veins, the tremor of my bones, and the black corners of every room. Perhaps she abides in these very words, so that when another pair of eyes trace them, they too shall see the haunting hitchhiker standing by the roadside, waiting.
Fantastic.
That was incredible.
That was a 10 out of 10.
Absolutely.
That was by far my favorite thing we've read in the channel.
Really? Okay.
Absolutely. That was incredible start to finish.
Yeah.
Again, as I've said before, the whole concept is a skin changer, someone who changes forms, which in No Sleep, in any kind of creepypasta, you know, the Wendigo is one of the most popular cryptids of all time. This concept has been done to death.
Mm-hmm.
And yet this makes it so fresh. The changing faces that don't quite stay there, the fact that it changes so quickly, so often,
Mm-hmm.
so it changes so subtly that you can't quite tell something's different. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Really, really plays into that uncanny valley.
Yeah.
And I really love the main character here. He knows what he's getting into. He has researched this. He's not going in blind, but he's choosing to do this.
Right.
I love that. You never see that in stories. He knows this is going to be a mistake. He knows he shouldn't be doing this, but he's driven.
Do you
to
think
do it anyway.
it's pure curiosity for him, or do you think there's an element of the creature like luring him?
I don't think it's an element of the creature luring him.
Mm-hmm.
From what I am picking up here, especially with the last page there.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
The creature to me seems like the embodiment of death.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like literally
Yeah.
death. I wouldn't say it's luring him. I think it's his own morbid curiosity. It's his own hubris that has essentially led to this. And I think it's a much more fascinating story if you read it that way,
Sure.
instead of the creature lured him to do this.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. No, that was really amazing. That was really good. I can't believe that's so unnoticed.
Oh yeah, it was only released yesterday, but oh my god. Easily the best gem I've ever found. Goes to show, obviously, we've been looking at a lot of popular stories on here, but I love finding ones that no one has seen before, because you get ones like this that are fantastic. People need to read this.
Yeah.
It's so short, but I feel like I like that it's so short as well. It gives you, it doesn't answer the question. It doesn't answer any questions here. It doesn't, give you a good answer to what happens. That's the perfect way you do horror. Nothing was explained here.
Yeah.
We didn't need an extra 10 pages going into exposition of exactly what this creature is and the fact that they're going to hell or whatever the fuck.
She doesn't break down her entire character.
She doesn't just
motive.
so this is what I am. I am a demon,
Yeah.
and I'm taking you to hell, and then you're going to do this and that and this, and then the next thing. I really like that. I like that it's unexplainable. Was it scary? No. I personally wasn't scared by it, but I feel like the horror is there.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
What I mean? Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
No, that was really excellent. This definitely deserves a lot more credit, and we should do more like this for sure.
Absolutely.
More
I would love to do these undiscovered ones, because as well, obviously, we don't want to step on CreepCast toes. We already, what was it that came out? Cupcakes. They did cupcakes as well.
Yeah, they shamelessly copied us and made cupcakes.
Yeah, so we definitely don't want to do potential stories that we think they're going to do as well. So doing these less well-known ones is perfect for that as well. Yeah.
No, I love that.
Sorry, I'm just I've spoke so much here. I feel like this has been the best story I've I've read on the channel. It's been amazing. I'm so excited about it.
Hell
Sorry,
yeah,
I feel like
dude.
I'm dominating this conversation.
No, you're fine. You're fine. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm really glad we read it.
Yeah.
I think that's about it though.
Wow. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed the story just as much as I did.
Yay!
Yay! Wow.
All right, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. This has been Dumb CreepCast number 11.
We don't really know what to say now to end it, so bye, 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 bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Goodbye.
Cut.